If I could go back in time and talk to my 50-year-old self, I think the first words out of my mouth would be, start paying more attention to your money. You're not as ready for retirement as you think. I'm not saying that to scare anyone. But now, at over 70, I can tell you this with my whole heart. There are some things I truly wish I'd known sooner, especially about money. We spend most of our adult lives chasing security. We work hard, pay bills, raise families. And we tell ourselves we'll figure out the rest later. The truth is, later comes faster than we expect. One day you wake up and realize retirement isn't this far-off idea anymore. It's here. And if you didn't prepare for it, it doesn't matter how hard you worked, it still hits like a freight train. When I retired, I thought I was ready. I had some savings. I owned my house. I didn't have a lot of debt. But within just a few years, I realized I had underestimated so much. Not just the cost of living, but the emotional toll of feeling uncertain about money. That constant little voice in the back of my head, is this enough? Will I run out? What if something unexpected happens? It's not just about numbers on a page. It's about peace of mind. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. In this video, I want to share 6 things I wish someone had told me about money before I retired. They're not complicated, but they're real. And if you're younger than me, I hope these lessons help you avoid the same regrets. If you're around my age, maybe they'll remind you that it's never too late to adjust and take control. Let's start with the first one. I wish I had understood how much retirement would change my spending habits and my emotions around money. Before I retired, I thought expenses would go down. No more commuting, no more work clothes, no more business lunches. But what I didn't factor in was how much time I'd have on my hands, and how tempting it would be to spend money just to fill that time. Lunches out, shopping, travel, little things that added up. And then there's the emotional side. When you're no longer earning a paycheck, every dollar you spend feels different. You're pulling from a finite source. It can feel like a countdown. I found myself feeling guilty even when buying small things. That guilt turns into stress. And that's no way to enjoy your retirement. So what would I tell my younger self? Build a spending plan not just for your bills, but for your freedom. Give yourself room to enjoy life without guilt. Budget for joy, not just survival. Learn how you react to money emotionally. Because retirement isn't just a financial shift, it's a psychological one. The second thing I wish I knew was how important it is to have income streams beyond savings. I thought having a decent retirement account was enough. But once I started drawing from it, I realized how quickly it shrinks. Markets go up and down. Unexpected expenses pop up. And the more I watched the balance fall, the more anxious I became. Having some kind of income, even small, makes a huge difference. It could be a part-time job you enjoy, a hobby that brings in a bit of money, or even rental income. The point is, having money coming in, even if it's not much, helps you feel secure. It helps slow the drawdown on your savings. And it gives you a sense of purpose. You're not just taking, you're still creating. I remember volunteering at a local library in my late 60s. It didn't pay, but it gave me a routine and a reason to get out of the house. Eventually, I started offering to teach computer basics to other seniors, and surprisingly, some were happy to pay a little for private lessons. It wasn't much, but it helped. Not just financially, but emotionally. And that leads me to the third thing. I wish I had started talking about money more openly with my spouse and family much earlier. For too many years, we avoided the topic. We assumed we were on the same page. We weren't. And when retirement came, so did surprises. Money is personal. It brings up pride, fear, and sometimes shame. But avoiding it doesn't help. If I could go back, I'd say, sit down with your spouse. Talk about what retirement looks like to each of you. Do you want to travel? Downsize? Support the grandkids? These things cost money. And it's better to work through the differences early than to argue later. Even more important, talk to your kids. Let them know where you stand. What you can and can't help with. Don't leave it as a mystery. Because one day, they'll have to step in, and the more they understand now, the easier it will be for everyone. These are just the first 3 things I wish I'd known about money before retiring. And I share them not with regret, but with the hope that someone listening will feel seen, heard, and better prepared. Now, let's keep going, because there's still more I've learned, and I want to share it with you. One thing I learned the hard way was that healthcare costs in retirement are far more unpredictable than most of us imagine. I used to think, I have Medicare, so I'll be covered. But I quickly found out how many things Medicare doesn't fully cover, like dental work, hearing aids, vision, and long-term care. And when you're on a fixed income, those gaps can feel like cliffs. I remember needing a dental procedure 2 years into retirement. I thought it'd be a few $100s, maybe. It ended up costing over $2,000 out of pocket. And let me tell you, that hurt a lot more than just my gums. It took a chunk out of my monthly budget and added stress I didn't need. What I wish I'd done? I wish I'd set aside a separate savings fund just for health-related expenses, even small ones. And I wish I'd looked into supplemental insurance plans earlier, before health issues made premiums higher. When you're younger, you don't think about these things. But in retirement, your body becomes more expensive to maintain. Planning for that isn't fear, it's freedom. Another important lesson, downsizing earlier would have saved me money and stress. I stayed in my large family home far longer than I should have, because of memories, because of pride, and yes, because I thought I should. But keeping up with the house, the bills, the maintenance, it drained more than just my wallet. It drained my energy. When I finally moved to a smaller place, I was surprised by how freeing it felt. Less cleaning, lower property taxes, cheaper utilities, and no more fixing things that always seemed to break. If I'd done it earlier, I could have used the savings to travel, to enjoy life, to simply rest. And it's not just about money, it's about mindset. We don't need as much stuff as we think. We don't need as much space. What we need is peace. And sometimes, peace means letting go of the things we thought we had to hold on to. That brings me to something very personal, the last of the big 6. I wish I'd learned to separate self-worth from net worth. In our culture, we attach value to what people earn, what they own, what they've saved. And when you retire, all of that changes. Suddenly, there's no paycheck, no promotions, no next big thing. It can leave you feeling invisible. But you are not your bank balance. Your worth is not in your wallet. It's in your wisdom, your kindness, your presence. I had to unlearn decades of thinking that being productive and wealthy meant I mattered more. Now, I know better. I matter because I exist. Because I've lived. Because I still have something to offer, whether or not it adds dollars to my account. If you're watching this and feeling like your financial standing defines you, please hear this. It doesn't. You are enough. And your story, your journey, your lessons, they're worth more than gold. These last 3 lessons, about healthcare, downsizing, and self-worth, were the most emotional ones for me. They weren't just about money. They were about identity. About learning how to live with intention, not fear. And they've helped shape the way I approach every day now. So if you're still with me, thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being open. And most of all, thank you for still growing. Because no matter where you are in your journey, it's never too late to learn something new and to live with wisdom and grace.